We're back on the record in cause
Yes, sir.
number 323427. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jalen Wayne Fitzgerald. We have Mr. Fitzgerald, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Fitzgerald was previously sworn in. Mr. Fitzgerald, had you had an opportunity to talk to your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, the information in this case alleges that on or about April the 21st of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Fitzgerald, do you
Yes,
understand
sir.
what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Fitzgerald, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fitzgerald, I have before me a document that is titled the hold on, 27 is, that's a MTRP. I don't have his, no. She did, she must have took it back. Hold on a minute. That's an emotion to revoke probation. I don't have that before me. Do you have it?
No contest. Sir?
Hold on. Let me do this here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, this is MTRP. Okay. Just need to make a correction on the record. The case that we have before you, Mr. Fitzgerald, is a second amended motion to revoke your probation. In this motion, it alleges, well, that on August 23rd of 2019, that you were found guilty for the, he must have been found guilty for the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. You have a copy of the judgment? Oh, here it is, the previous judgment. Because they have him over here with a DWI enhanced. Oh, he must have pled, okay. The information was the DWI, what was the judgment? Okay, now, Mr. Fitzgerald, initially on August 23rd of 2019, you had a case that was a DWI with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. However, on that day, you pled guilty to the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated, which was a Class B misdemeanor. And
Yes, sir.
so you were, this motion to revoke probation alleges that on that day of August 23rd of 2019, that you was found guilty of the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated. And your punishment was assessed at 180 days confinement in Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $750. The confinement portion of your sentence was probated for 1 year. And that meant that you was placed on probation for 1 year. On December 7th of 2020, the state filed a motion to revoke your probation. In this motion, there are 9 allegations. However, in the misdemeanor plea admonishment, it looks like the state will be abandoning counts 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. State, are you abandoning counts 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. What that means, Mr. Fitzgerald, is that even though you have 9 allegations, the state will be abandoning hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The state will be abandoning 6 of those allegations. They will be abandoning the allegation 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the state is only proceeding on 3 of the allegations. Now, the first allegation, allegation number 1, alleges that you committed the offense of public intoxication in that on or about the 14th day of May of 2020 in Jefferson County, Texas, against the peace and dignity of the state and in violation of condition 1 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
Yes, sir.
You have to say true or not true. You want
True.
true? All right. And allegation number 4 alleges that you committed the offense of aggravated assault in that on or about the 28th day of March of 2020 in Jefferson County, Texas, that you did then and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly caused bodily injury to Faith Morgan hereafter style of complainant by the use of deadly weapon, namely an automobile that in a manner use or intended use is capable of causing serious bodily injury and death, and by operating said vehicle on a public highway and striking a highway divide against the peace and dignity of the state in violation of condition 1 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 5 states that you committed the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child passenger in that on or about the 28th day of March of 2020 in the county of Jefferson, state of Texas, that you did then and there operate a motor vehicle in a public place while the defendant or while you were intoxicated and the vehicle was occupied by Gabriel Morgan, a passenger under 15 years of age, against the peace and dignity of the state in violation of condition 1 of your probation. Is that true?
True.
Okay. Now, Mr. Fitzgerald, are you pleading true to allegations 1, 4, and 5 freely and voluntarily?
No contest.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Are you pleading true to these allegations freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true to these allegations because they are true?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes, sir.
I have before me state's exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, JF, on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 1, 4, and 5. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, Mr. Fitzgerald, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. And the second box that's checked states that you are waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Fitzgerald, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer states 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Vasquez, you've advised and counseled Mr. Fitzgerald. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fitzgerald, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fitzgerald, I will accept your plea of true to allegation number one, number 4, and number 5. And I will also find that you're mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and your probation is hereby revoked. Mr. Fitzgerald, state, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is 180 days, county jail credit for time served, tax and retired court costs. And that's to run concurrent with cause number 329119.
Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served over 180 days. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served.
Yes,
The court
sir.
cost in this case is $57, but you would not have to pay the court costs in this case because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Fitzgerald, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state in this case. Now, Mr. Fitzgerald, you have another case, and this case, Mr. Fitzgerald, is cause number 329119. And in this case, Mr. Fitzgerald, the information alleges that on or about May 15th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense, burglary of a vehicle. Mr. Fitzgerald, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Fitzgerald, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Fitzgerald, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, JF on the line next to the box says check nola contendere. Or did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the third page of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature at the bottom of this document above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fitzgerald, did you sign a document out there that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Fitzgerald, prior to signing all of the documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibits number, state's exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer state's exhibit number 1 and also State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection to either exhibit, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Vasquez, you've advised and counseled Mr. Fitzgerald in this case. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fitzgerald, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
What
It's
is that agreement?
180 days, credit for time served, tax and retire court costs, and that's to run concurrent with cause number 323427.
Mr. Fitzgerald, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail in this case. However, you will not have to serve any more time in jail in this case because the time you spent in jail has already satisfied the sentence in this case. So therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The
Yes,
court
sir.
cost in this case is $332, but you will not have to pay the $332 because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid off the $332. This case will run concurrent with cause number 323427. And in this case, Mr. Fitzgerald, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Fitzgerald, this will conclude your case. And Mr. Fitzgerald, please follow the bailiff